Grealish, 5 minutes.
I would like to thank my colleagues for bringing this motion forward and our Administrator Koch for the excellent research that she done on this P&B. Minister, there is an urgent need for improvements to the benefits available to people with a disability who are holders of primary medical certificates under the Disabled Persons and Disabled Passenger Scheme. Primary medical certs are issued to people who have a severe and permanent disability, which generally restricts their movements. Most need a wheelchair to get around. Up to now, holders of such certificates could qualify for an exemption of VAT and the VRT, the vehicle registration tax, when buying cars that are accessible or adaptable for wheelchair use. These exemptions have substantially reduced the ultimate cost to the buyer, who is typically a wheelchair user or a carer for a wheelchair user, including parents or children with serious disabilities. These are people who already have to cope with huge expenses associated with a disability. Most adaptive vehicles are equipped with a ramp that enables a wheelchair or a mobile scooter to get into the car, and the floor of the vehicle may have been lowered to allow significant head height. But there is a crisis looming for such people, as the manufacturers who make these cars that are wheelchair adaptable are switching over to making only electric vehicles. There is a problem that is looming large now, not just something that is going to arise as we approach 2030, the year by which sales of new petrol and diesel cars will be banned. While electric vehicles up to a certain value are exempt from VRT, they are way more expensive than the diesel or petrol models that have been used by these families and individuals up till now. You were talking about an increased cost of maybe 10,000 to 20,000 that they will face just to make it possible to do basic things like get to work, go to the shops, bring a child to school or to medical appointments. Earlier this month, Minister, the Minister for Transport announced a €15 million scheme that will offer taxi drivers up to €25,000 to switch to electric vehicles, including a grant to make them wheelchair accessible. That's something that a taxi driver will no doubt be very happy with, helping them to make what would otherwise be an expensive transition to electric-powered vehicles. But the families and individuals I am talking about need to be helped in exactly the same way. That is why I am urging the Government to offer holders of primary medical certificates the same kind of financial assistance as taxi drivers. As I mentioned earlier, they are already facing mounting expenses that people without a disability do not incur. Most simply could not afford to pay the huge jump in costs involved in buying an electric car. So in addition to being exempt from VAT, they should also be given a financial grant that would bridge the difference between the cost of buying a wheelchair-adaptable diesel or petrol car and the new increased cost of buying an electric car. The programme for government published by the coalition parties in June 2020 committed to making a difference that will make things better for people with a disability in this country. It stressed the need to improve the services available and promised to empower and give those with a disability the ability to choose the supports that most meet their needs. Well, one of the most basic needs of a person with a disability or their carers is the ability to access transport that is suitable to their needs and which enables them to live their best life. To do that, in the years to come, they must be given additional financial assistance that will enable them to continue to buy wheelchair-accessible vehicles that they absolutely need. And Minister, I want to thank the Government for accepting our motion here, and as I said, I want to thank my colleagues for bringing this motion before the Dáil today, and also, as I said, for Koch for the excellent work that she did.